G'day Pops and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing another DIY video where we're going to be making a pop vinyl Asriel. And this pop vinyl has been requested so many times that I simply had to do it. So without further ado, let's get started. Hello everyone, so as usual the first thing you want to do is take your DIY pop vinyl, take it out of its box, put it down and again inspect it for any bumps, grazes or issues that it may have. Then next you want to grab your milliput super fine in white, take out the 2 tubes of plasticine and then cut them into a nice even amount. So you want 1/2 of one and 1/2 of the other of the amount that you're going to use. Then you want to take your ball of plasticine and then thoroughly rub it all together so the mixture is thoroughly mixed in. Because as I've witnessed in the past, if you don't mix these thoroughly enough, they won't set. And this may take 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, so just as long as you keep moulding with one hand, feel free to check your phone and fiddle around with it just to pass the time. And don't be deceived by the video, this is sped up and cut out, so I did rub together this mix for a very long time, just to make sure that it set correctly the first time. And to begin, all I did was take about a 2p piece size ball of milliput, flatten it out between my 2 fingers, just like a rose petal, and then placed it on top of the left arm, which I then pinched and squeezed just so it would wrap around the arm entirely, and then using several sculpting tools, I was able to mold it into more of a sleeve-like shape, as you can see here. Again, using water and my finger to smooth it out. Then all you want to do is try and emulate this shape on the opposite arm, making sure to use your finger and water to try and smooth these pieces into the body of the pop vinyl, because we don't want to use too much milliput this time. In fact, you want to try and make it so the sleeve blends in so well with the body that it looks like the t-shirt is the body, if that makes sense. And the next step is to roll out a really thin sausage shaped piece. This needs to be about double the length of the pop vinyl stomach, as you're going to be wrapping it around it like a belt. And you can use water to stick this down onto your pop vinyl by just rubbing a tiny amount onto the pop vinyl first. Then using sculpting tools, you just want to trim away any excess. And don't be deceived, this isn't a belt, this is actually the flap of the t-shirt at the bottom rim. So you want to take a sculpting tool or your finger and you want to try and blend the upper half of the sausage shape into the t-shirt / torso of the pop vinyl, as you can see here. Again, at the end, using your finger and some water to smooth it out. This just kind of creates more of a 3D type effect without using too much milliput clay. Next, as you can see in the background, I'm rolling out 2 evenly sized balls of milliput clay. These will then be molded and shaped into the shape of a teardrop, but with less of a point at the top. You want to make the top bit more round, as these are going to be Asriel's ears. And if you watch the footage closely, you will see that the first set of ears that I made, I didn't actually like, and I ended up making them way too small. So all I did was peel them off, add more milliput clay, and then re-sculpt them on. I'm just mentioning this because I want you to know not to be afraid to make mistakes. You can always go back. Milliput does have a quick-ish drying time, but you always have time immediately to take it off, re-sculpt it, and put on stuff again and again and again. Don't be afraid of retrying and reattempting. That is the best way to learn. And you want to make sure that the top parts of the ears and the bottom parts of the ears both level off at the same points. You want them to be as even as possible. Then using a small ball of milliput clay, I pressed that against the nose / mouth area of the pop vinyl, which I then sculpted again with water and sculpting tools into the shape of a soft triangle, if that makes sense, because that's going to be Asriel's nose / snout area. Then I took 2 smaller pieces of clay and again shaped them into tear-like shapes, with the point being a lot sharper this time. Placed one on top of the other like petals, and then using water and my finger, I just kind of blended that into the top of the head just to make Asriel's really cute hair. I think this is what makes this pop vinyl so super cute. And again, as you can see, I wasn't that happy with the first way it turned out, so again I just took it off, re-sculpted and sculpted again. I think I ended up doing his hair about 3 times. Everyone makes mistakes, and all I can say is you can keep learning from them and keep trying to fix your mistakes until you can get as close as possible to what you want it to look like. Lastly, take a really small piece of milliput clay, and firstly you want to roll it into a ball, press it down onto your mat or table, and then using a slicing kind of tool or a pokey kind of tool, or even your finger now, you just want to add some lines to the ball to make it look as close to a fluffy towel as possible, and then lastly stick it onto Asriel's bum, because that's going to be his tail. So here's the pop vinyl in its full sculpted glory. You then want to wait about 12 to 24 hours or overnight for your milliput clay to fully dry. And once it's dried, I didn't really film this part, but trust me, I did it. As you can see the shine, you then just want to coat your pop vinyl in a pure white spray just as a base coat, because he is a white creature and white is hard to paint, so you don't want to spend all day painting it white again, even though it is already white. You just want to get a nice even white coat over your pop vinyl, which then of course primes it, and you are now ready to paint it. So using acrylic paint, I started off with a really nice lime green for his t-shirt, which you want to coat on really finely and apply using many layers rather than using a thick coat, as you are more likely to see brush strokes that way. And you want to get it as smooth as possible. And you can spray your pop vinyls if you wish with spray paint. However, I much prefer painting with acrylic paint because I feel like I can get a lot more detail out of it. However, if you do wish to spray paint your pop vinyls, just make sure to tape up areas with masking tape and do it using several layers rather than coating it on really thickly, because it is susceptible to dripping and you will ruin your pop vinyl. And once I'd finished the green of the t-shirt, I then went into the trousers with a really nice brown. However, the original brown that I used came out very watery. It was in fact way too thin. So once I'd coated it once in this light kind of brown, I then went in again with a darker brown, which came out a lot thicker. The mixture was a lot better, and coated the pop vinyl's legs a lot better, as you can see. I then went in and coloured the eyes, nose and mouth with a black permanent marker. You can use black acrylic paint, however I find using my pens a lot easier, as I can get in there with much finer details and it takes up a lot less time. But remember, everything that you do is preference and you can change it up depending on what you feel most comfortable with. I then took a really nice yellow and went around with the stripes on Asriel's jumper, as you can see here. This took about 2 to 3 coats, so beware, you will have to wait between drying times to get the best results. And lastly, to give it that really cute little 3D effect, I like to give all my pop vinyls a little drip of white on the eye, just to make the cuteness come out even more. So there you have it, an adorable Asriel pop vinyl. Enjoyed watching this little DIY video. I just wanted to show you him in his full glory. Here he is. He has got to be one of the cutest DIY pops I've ever made. I really like him. I like the little toss of hair, his adorable little face where he's all angsty and scared, and yeah, just the whole thing. He's just so super cute. He has to be the cutest one I've ever made. So I'm really super proud of him. However, I can't keep him because I'm running out of space in my room. So if this looks like something you'd like to own, he will be for sale on my Etsy. Of course, there will only ever be one of him because I'm only ever going to make one. So he's a one-of-a-kind piece. So go check out my Etsy for him. And that's Mythical Studios on Etsy. And as usual, if there's anything that you'd like to see be made into a pop vinyl or a DIY or another craft or a prop or anything like that, just recommend it down below in the comments section. And of course, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe and the bell button. And as usual, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.